Well, it was a good road win for us. The great thing about it is our big three, which are interior guys, and Manny Bates and Jericho and DJ, have been playing really good basketball, and they've been special for us ever since Devin is gone. And I've been trying to get some guards to play better with them. I thought our guards played a really good game today. Shaq Moore had a career high. He did a tremendous job. I thought Cam played a good floor game. It was a great game because we needed to win, especially because I wanted these guys to be able to feel good about themselves. And then obviously it was great because we got the big lead and I was able to get some of those younger guys some playing time at the end. Those guys haven't had the opportunity to play in many games because of obviously no non-conference. But excited about it. We'll take it. We'll get back and we'll go to work and continue to get better. Questions?
Justin Williams.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, Shaquille Moore had a strong game today, career high 19 points. Can you talk about his play, A, but B, there was one point late in the first half when you guys were kind of settling for some jump shots. Boston College made a lead, and he passed one up and transitioned, led to a Funderburk layup down low. Do smart moves like that give you a little bit more trust in your freshman guards?
Yeah, Justin, it's trying to get those guys to grow up really fast. And I know people will say, golly, it's February. They're trying to get them to grow up. But any freshman in the country, unless you have been playing 25 to 30 minutes a game, they haven't had game experience. They haven't been able to go through what we've been through in the past with non-conference. And, I think the two guys who have taken a huge step and who had two really good practices was Shaquille Moore and Cam Hayes. Both of those guys are big-time competitors. Both of those guys are working hard. Shaq did a tremendous job. I asked him today to be a paint touch guy. We lost our guy who could get to the rim and Devin Daniels, and really the next guy in line who can really get to the rim and make something happen is Shaquille Moore. And, he went out there and he tried to execute what I wanted him to do.
And a quick follow-up, after the last game, you kind of talked about how the identity has changed with Devin Daniels out for the season. In a game where you win so drastically and painting the point and on the boards, does that give you confidence moving forward to kind of lean in on that front court the rest of the way?
Yeah, Justin, we have played since Devin's been out. This is our third game, but we played well enough to be able to win at Syracuse and then against number 14 UVA. We just needed other guys to be able to step up and help these guys, and they've been tremendous. Give Cole obviously didn't have the hot hand, but I thought Manny and both DJ were tremendous inside. Our game plan was to throw the ball inside, and our guards executed that.
Thank you, Coach.
Corey Smith.
Hey, Kevin. Looking back to the beginning of 2021 now at this point, this team has had some really, rough rough days so far, whether it was taking losses or having to take the long break and even in the win, losing Devin Daniels. What does it mean to just come out of this game and not only with a win, but come out of it as an overwhelming positive on the entire day?
Well, it's important that we get better. We knew coming into this season that it was going to be a challenge. What we didn't know is that we were going to lose our leading scorer and obviously one of our best leaders and our best guard. And so we've had to adapt on the fly. We're no different than most teams in the country. But if you take the best player off of any team, they're going to struggle. I didn't know how this team would respond after losing Devin Daniels. And, we're 1-2 since he's gone. But we played against two unique defenses and two really good teams, one of them on their home floor and then against the number 14 team in the country, which we had a chance towards the end. We put ourselves towards the end a chance to win. But our identity has changed because the older guys, which are our post guys, have embraced the opportunity.
And wanted to, as a follow-up on the, obviously with Thomas Allen, Cam Hayes, and Braxton Beverly, not overwhelming offensive numbers, but all three of them really contributing in terms of being able to distribute the ball and get it inside to guys like Manny Bates and DJ Funderburk. How much have you seen them progress, being able to, kind of control the offense and be able to get it inside to them on entry passes?
Well, they will get better. We need them to play better, and I've asked those guys. I need on every given night, I need a guard to have a good night, especially if our bigs continue to play that way. Um, our solution is not on our guards. It's just we need somebody else to step up. When you look at the numbers from the couple losses, those guys were 5 and 6 points a game, and we need better guard play, meaning I need somebody to be able to score. We've worked a lot with those guys over the last couple of days and getting better. Tonight, it was really our execution was, or our game plan was to get the ball inside the paint and play inside out. And some of those shots that they missed, they'll make next time.
Thanks, Kevin.
Jared,
Kevin, this one played out very differently than the first round did about 5 weeks ago. Would you say that's more of how far your team has progressed since then and adjusted in the interim, or an indictment maybe of what it's like for BC to have had the last 5 games postponed? And if it is more of the latter, once again, another reflection of, in this type of season, how much a pause can hurt.
Yeah, I can't tell you. I think we're playing a little bit better. I'm sure those guys being on a pause and missing some guys is, obviously it's tough. We went through the same thing. It's always tough when you're going through a pandemic, but I can't say what's the difference in us being able to win more by a bigger margin here than we did at home. I know our guys are getting better. I know our guys are starting to believe in one another. We're sharing the ball more. We're doing a good job getting out in transition. I think we've become a better defensive team. And so I can only talk about our end of it. I'm sure BC's got a lot of struggles right now.
Thank you, Kevin.
Andrew,
Kevin, I believe this is the first time in 4 games that Shaquille's played over 19 minutes, and I know it's the first time he's scored in double figures since that first Boston College game. What was kind of the difference for him today and kind of, breaking out and getting back to that level that he was at earlier in ACC play?
Well, Andrew, I think the biggest thing for those who have followed him from high school days, man, the kid's probably the best paint touch guy that I've seen in a long time. He's a gritty, hard-nosed defender. And honestly, when you pull up his stats, he was taking a lot of threes. He had fell in love with the three-point line. And our conversation the other day, actually was yesterday, is, man, I need you. You're the only guy really that I can consistently get into the paint. Braxton's a three-point shooter. Thomas is a three-point shooter. Sebron does it a little bit different. And, so I needed him to be able to get into the paint and make plays. And we're a good basketball team. That kid's a good finisher when we have somebody that can get paint touches from our guard spot. And so that's why he played more minutes. And if he continues to get better, he'll play more minutes. But him and Cam Hayes, out of the younger guys, had the best couple days practice leading into this.
And as a follow-up on him, how impressive is it? I know you've talked about this before, for him to be doing some of the things that he's doing this year, despite kind of getting thrown into the fire in ACC play with really no exhibition games and not a lot of non-conference games to kind of figure things out.
Andrew, it's refreshing. Our backcourt of young kids will be really, really good. And it's unfair to them. It's unfair to everybody what's going on. So I want to make sure that I'm not just saying NC State, but it's unfair to them, the situation that we've all been put in. That being said, they're getting so much valuable experience playing right now. The kid's talented. And a lot of times when you're a young guy, you have to give more instructions about what you need from them opposed to just letting them go out there and play. And I've learned with those guys to give them instructions of what we expected from them.
James, go ahead.
Hey, Kevin, obviously with BC coming out of a pause, was it tough preparing for what they may present for you, maybe not knowing what they had available? And also, was it maybe more of a focus for you looking at the Virginia game and building off of that?
Well, I think it was both. We had no idea who was going to play. Obviously, at any point, anybody could have played. We don't know anybody's situation. I just hope that nobody is seriously sick and hope they make it back. But it was about us building on the last couple of games. It was about us trying to figure out how we can capitalize on the things that we've done well and to limit the mental mistakes, to get better. If we would erase a few of the mistakes, when you think about that at the Virginia game, I went back and we looked at deflections. We only had 23 and we're still in the game. That's just not who we are. We are a deflection team. We'll pressure you. We'll turn you over. And so I wanted to come into this game, regardless of how many played for BC. It was a great game for us because we were able to get away from Raleigh. We were on the road, and I just wanted those guys to focus on getting better, and I thought we did.
Thanks.
All right, our last question, Justin.
Coach, you just mentioned it's the first road win of the season, or first true road win of the season. I'm just curious how exactly the post-game ice cream works in the middle of a pandemic.
Well, Justin, I pay a couple guys a lot of money to try to figure that out. Chris Zepko, who is one of my directors, we were going into Clemson. I'll give you guys this. And this is why y'all can print this too. This is why we lost the Clemson game. Not because they scored more points than us. We lost it because we were walking into Clemson and I was walking beside him and he's like, Coach, I'm going to take the bus and I'm going to go see where we can get ice cream. And I was like, oh man, that is a kiss of death. You can't do that before the game. That's and if you do that, don't tell me. And so I hate that because I'm so stupid about it. So that game, I'm going to have to get the job that he had. So I don't know how good of a director he is. What game plan? You know what? We are going to get ice cream. We are going to get ice cream, even if it's got to be delivered to us, but we will have ice cream today.